We did it! We have made it to the end of the school year. So for today's video, we're gonna take a look back and see what worked and maybe what didn't work as well when it comes to curriculum. All right, let's get started. Hi, my name is Emily and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm a homeschooling mama who taught at a private school for 5 years, and now I'm at home teaching my own 3 kiddos. You know, just like probably any other school year, this year definitely had its ups and downs. But overall, we really did have a great school year. And I am so thankful for the time that I was able to spend with my kids and for just getting to watch them learn firsthand. So we're gonna take a look back on the curriculum that they used and kind of what worked and what didn't work so well to kind of maybe give you some ideas for your family. Now, I would like to say that just because something works for our family does not necessarily mean that it's gonna be a good fit for yours, because you know, each family is different and it has different factors and we're all unique. And so I think that's why it's important to really research a curriculum before you dive into it, because you wanna know that it's gonna be a good fit for your child and for your whole family. So this is just what we personally as a family thought of the curriculum we used this year. And so for our kindergartner, for his phonics this year, and his reading, we use the ACE curriculum, the Accelerated Christian Education curriculum. And this is ABCs with AC and Christy. This is just the teacher's manual. This is the first teacher's manual. And it's a very scripted type curriculum, meaning the manual tells you exactly what to say. I actually would like to do a video on more of a in-depth overview of this curriculum and kind of a, maybe even like do a lesson, you know, with us type video where I can show you exactly what a day's work in kindergarten looks like in this ACE curriculum. Because there's not just your book work. You have, you know, stories and songs and even physical activities and games. And so there's a bunch that goes along with this curriculum throughout the day. And so I'd like to give you a closer look on that sometime. But just as an overview, this is the manual. And again, it's ABCs with AC and Christy. And it has 12 what's called word building paces because you work at your own pace. And so 12 word building books, they're 27 pages a piece. And then they each have a test or like a quiz at the end. And that kind of lets you know how your child's doing. In the manual, it tells you to do 8 pages a day. So, you know, you do the 8 pages each day, and then you'll do that again, that quiz at the end. And so we were doing that, and with only having a 4-day week, we only school Tuesday through Friday. We take Monday off, and we were still able to get it done. I wanna say it was like late January, early February maybe, that we were finishing this up. And so we were able to finish his phonics and learning all of his letters and sounds pretty early into the year. They also have math and other subjects that go along with this. You could do your entire curriculum for your child, all ACE. We chose to do something different for math, which I'll show you in a second. But I did not add handwriting to this. And I would say that might be one of the only things that we struggled a little bit with this curriculum. Is there were some days, because my son was just learning his, you know, writing with a pencil and doing those fine motor, you know, muscles and techniques. It seemed like those were harder for him on days, I forget which book it was in. I was looking at it earlier. There's some days where there's quite a bit of reading. So I don't know, since there's 8 pages a day, like this day, we did a whole page of spelling words here, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about 18 words on a page. Then we did another 18 words and another about that amount of words. And that was supposed to be in one day's work, plus other things. And so when he's just learning to start, that did get a little overwhelming from him at first, but the good thing about it was that whenever we were doing that because we were getting done so quick and we got done so early in the year, we were able to, okay, well, let's just do that first page of handwriting in the first day. And then we can do these other 2 pages the second day. And so we split it up so it didn't seem like as much, and it was definitely more tolerable. And then of course, we always did the M&M trick, you know, or a piece of candy where I would set some M&Ms out there, and you know, after every time he would write a word or maybe a row of words, he'd get to have an M&M. And so that kind of helped push him along as well. Candy, always a great motivator. So we did those things. And so that would probably be the only thing that we struggled with, was a bunch of handwriting. So that's why I didn't buy additional handwriting, because there is plenty of handwriting in the ACE word building paces. These definitely teach them all their letter sounds of the alphabet, and you start reading with these paces. And so I was so nervous to teach my kid to read, but with ACE, we did it, and he is reading, and I'm so proud of him. And so the ACE definitely worked well for us. And then for math this year, for my kindergartner, he was 5 when he started school and then turned 6 throughout the school year. And we did the Good and Beautiful Math K. And so this is our first time using the Good and Beautiful. I've heard a lot about it, and we loved it. We loved it. My son learned so much. I mean, by the end of this, you know, he's knowing how to starting to tell time, working with money, counting coins, and he's pretty good on his addition and subtraction facts now. There's days where we get done with our lesson and, can I do another one? Can I do another one? And so just really neat stuff in here. Hands-on, you know, you have your math box with your cars, your little cars and counting sticks. And so it was really neat for him to use this with a lot of manipulatives that he could use. Games we played together. Tally marks, greater than, less than, starting to learn volume, and just different weight and different things like that, using a ruler, like a lot of stuff that he went over in this book. And with just doing 1 or 2 lessons a day, we were able to get done with it, like, I mean, it was almost perfect of finishing it right at the end of the school year. And so we really loved the Good and the Beautiful, Simply Good and Beautiful Math K. I would recommend this. Then moving on to my preschooler. Now, she was a young preschooler because she was 3 when we started. She turned 4 about halfway through the year. And I'm gonna be honest, I had planned these books and different things for her to do. And I had a lot of like sit down work planned out for her. And we did some of that, but a lot of times I just let her play with her younger sister. I let her, you know, just spend some time outside. I even, you know, there was like hands-on, just making crafts, or we had this penguin set where, you know, you learn patterns and you put the penguins in a certain pattern or count them, and just things like that ended up being what she really worked best with. And so even though I am gonna show you preschool curriculum, we honestly didn't do a whole lot of preschool curriculum. I had all these ideas, but I learned that as young as she was, it was just best for her to learn doing more activities and stuff like that. But we did do a few things, so I was gonna show you. ACE also has a preschool curriculum. So it's preschool with AC and Christie. This is a really old manual. So I don't know if it looks different now, if it looks similar, but it's K3, K4, and K5. It's reading readiness. And so it has 12 books of word building, 12 books of math, and then 12 of English, social studies, and science. And the word building isn't really workbooks necessarily, pretty much just showing you the pictures. They learn stories. Whereas the kindergartner, they learn 1 short story kind of a day with each letter. The preschooler takes 1 letter and learns it throughout an entire week. And so they take that whole week and just tell a little bit of the story throughout the whole week. And so it's 1 long story broke up throughout your entire week about 1 letter and 1 letter sound. And so it definitely is a lighter and slower approach than your kindergarten, who every day they're learning a new letter, a new sound, and a new animal. And so this one's different. It's very scripted as well, whereas the teacher has what they read. And so let me just show you this really quick. This is the word building. This is our lizard story, I believe. Yep. And so it just shows you the pictures in here as you're telling it. And there's 3 different stories in one of these books. And then at the end, the only thing they really have to do in this book is putting the pictures of the story in the right order. So anyways, that's kind of mostly what this word building is for, is just the pictures for them to look at while you read the story. The others, this is a very sit down with your child type curriculum because it is so scripted. There's pages, like here's the English, there's pages in here that like you wouldn't necessarily, the child wouldn't know what to do if you didn't tell them, because it needs to be read to them what to do. Like these are colored different colors, but they have different letters on them. And so you would say, all right, find the sound for rabbit and color it green. And so they would find the rattle that has the R and color it green, but they wouldn't know that otherwise. And so it's a lot of you reading to them and then them doing it. So it can be time consuming. So if you have a bunch of children and don't have a lot of time to devote to your preschooler, you might wanna make sure that that's the right fit for you. It's a great curriculum, but it's just a little more one-on-one. And so my daughter did like it. She loved doing her schoolwork with her bubby, and she did enjoy anytime it was her time. See, the good thing about it was it did take me spending some one-on-one time with her, and she loved that. She loved it when I would read the lessons to her and she would get to fill it out. And it doesn't take a huge amount of time. You need to make sure that you do have some time to sit down and read with them. So we didn't do all of it this year. We're planning on picking it up and continuing it next year because she won't start preschool until at least the middle of the year, maybe even the next school year. And then the Good, the Beautiful, we have the Doodles and Pre-Writing for Littles and the Doodles and Pre-Writing for Littles Part 2. And so this is just a lot of tracing, getting their fine motor skills down. Sometimes the straight lines here, she'd already gotten down to this kind of pattern here, and the raindrops. And so different things like that. And then they do a lot of coloring, just again, to work on those fine motor skills. And so I can already tell a huge difference between when she started and when she finished. And she enjoys doing this. This is something that I can give her and say, you know, hey, can you do your handwriting for me? I need you to do these 2 pages. And I can leave and go throw in a load of laundry, or I can read with my son or teach him his lesson and come back, and she can do this all on her own. So that is a benefit of this as well. She's already done the first one. We did about 2 pages a day and she really loved it, sometimes even more. And part 2, we're getting close to the end. We're finishing it up this summer, kind of as our handwriting during the summer, which now my son is doing it, so they do it together. So he's doing level 1 and she's again in this for littles. So Good and Beautiful handwriting was definitely a win. I would recommend it. Now, the only thing that we really had this year that didn't really work for us was this book right here. It is Stepping Stones, and this is by Master Books. It's a developmental approach to preschool. And so it's a good book. It covers matching shadows, animal sorts, parts of a book, textures, shapes and colors, weather, a bunch of different things are in here. I just, with the age she was about 3.5 when we started school. And so the age she was, a lot of the things that I was reading, like, see this whole page right here is reading. And we had already done reading with my son's lessons, and she had been part of that. We'd done Bible story for the day, maybe even done her preschool book if we were doing it that day. So we had already done quite a bit of reading. And so for her to sit and listen to this whole thing and then just do like 3 activities on the next page, it was a lot of reading for a little bit of problems is what I found. So again, nothing against this curriculum. I love Master Books, but just this particular one for preschoolers, her attention span was too short for. So we maybe did 1/5 of it. It's all good things and good. There's scripture verses in it, heroes of the Bible stories. But again, it was just over her at the time we were trying to do it. And there was just too much reading. She didn't want to sit and listen to the whole reading just to do a problem or 2. So we kept this. We might go back again if we need busy work, or maybe to try it with my youngest when she gets a little older. Not a bad curriculum, just not a good fit for my middle child. And that's okay. It can be a great curriculum, but if it doesn't fit your child, then that's not the right one for you. So that was kind of the review of how the curriculum for the 2021-2022 school year worked for us. And I hope you were able to find some information that would be helpful to you when choosing your curriculum for your family. If you did find something helpful, if you don't care to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel, I would be so appreciative of that. That would be so great, thank you. And I hope you'll join us again on our next video. All right, see you soon. Bye.